What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, alongside He Only Does Everything, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
And Colin, the PlayStation Vita is finally here in the IGN office. Look at it, it's so sexy and slick. Look at all that. It's selling like hotcakes, I heard.
Yeah, not so much.
Not so much? Okay, well, we're still very excited to have it. Colin, why don't you walk us through on your unit what exactly makes up the PlayStation Vita from a hardware side?
Okay, well, here it is. I mean, this is the screen, the start screen you can see here. You have your dual analog sticks. They don't click, so there's no R3 and L3 functionality. We've known that for a long time. Obviously, your face buttons, your D-pad, all those things, PlayStation button. But then, yeah, you have the, up here you have PS Vita marked port. You can open it with your nail, and that's where you put the card in. Greg, would you like to show them the card?
Yeah, look, I'm injecting my card right now. This is one of the demos I stole from Sony when they weren't looking. But now what's interesting about the cards is their size comparison, right? Here's a Nintendo 3DS cartridge, a hulky little beast. Here is a PlayStation Vita cartridge, a lot smaller, not nearly as big.
So, yeah, we have those, and then there's one more card that's important. This was obviously all the rage on the internet, which was the memory card and how expensive they are.
Exactly.
You put the memory cards down here in this little slot, if you can see that.
Now let's talk about this slot for a second, how small that slot is. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a memory stick Pro Duo. This is what the memory format was for the PlayStation Portable, all right? Now, this tiny little guy is the memory card for the PlayStation Vita. Colin, you have expressed many concerns about losing these things left and right.
Oh, we're gonna drop. I'm gonna lose probably 5 of those a year at least. I'm quite concerned, especially because they're tethered to your your PSN account and all those things. But yeah, that's what we're working with right now, Greg.
Exactly. What's worth pointing out, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is out in Japan, not out in the United States. So for us to have our U.S. profiles and then be able to access stuff on the Japanese store, we need to have separate memory cards. That's why one of our memory cards is tied to our Japanese account, one is tied to a U.S. account, and we have to switch them out. It's making a lot of issues right now trying to figure out what firmware goes with what. A lot of features that are available in Japan aren't available here, so the units don't communicate properly. But we're working through it. We're gonna have a whole bunch of coverage here on the site. Colin, continue on. What have we not talked about?
How about the back touch?
Oh, sure.
If you take a look at that. This is obviously a back
got all the PlayStation buttons on there?
That's cool, and you can obviously see the one of the cameras. The other camera is in the front, so you have a front and
rear the front camera up there, yeah. And then you have the rear camera back here. There she is.
And then obviously you have, up on top where we were showing the Vita, where the Vita card goes, you have your power button and your volume buttons, which are actually in convenient places, unlike the PSP.
Yeah.
And your triggers, L and R, as well.
Now, what's interesting about this is since we're having so many firmware problems, we can't play games left and right, is that we're only messing around with what apps come installed with it and how it all works. What's interesting is none of the real buttons you'd be used to, tactile buttons, work at all when the Vita first comes. Your whole menu system is touch only, and you scroll around like this. You can open apps and then leave them stalled. So like right here's my friends list. You can see, well, now it's reconnecting, but you can see when it comes back up that you see I'm friends with my American account from my Japanese account. But when I'm done with the friends list, I just do that, and then I suspend the app, and I can move on to something else. I can double back here and fool around, and then all the apps that are still running are in the back up there. You see the little bubbles up there. And then when I'm ready to close it, I can scroll back over to that app and then just drag it down like this, throw away the page, and it's now closed. It's no longer background running. But it's a nifty little feature for like when you're screwing around with I was looking at something on the Japanese store. There are all the games. Let's say I wanted to download Uncharted. I click into it. It's running a bit slow, believe it or not, because the servers are in Japan, and I have to make a Japanese proxy and then ping around the world trying to trick this thing into thinking I'm there.
World.
I don't know how the internet works. No, but it's something like that. But when it does work, it pops up like that and looks like that. Colin, what are some of your favorite features there?
Obviously, I'm a big trophy whore, so if you look here, you see the trophy button, which is kind of cool. You can just click that. Brings you to the start page. You hit start, and then you can, once it loads, there we go. You can see your trophies, and obviously you can sync them to the PlayStation Network to your standard PSN account. There's a program called Welcome Park that comes with PlayStation Vita that shows you how to use the different functions of the PS Vita. This shows you how to use multi-touch, for instance. So if you click on the Welcome Park, then you can just kind of see all the trophies in a way that's much more easily digestible.
So wait a second, Colin. You're telling me that the PlayStation Vita comes with a tutorial program called Welcome Park that comes with trophies?
It does. Look, if you can see them
God.
here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bronzes, a silver, and a gold. So you got that going for you. I've earned some of them already. And what's cool is that when you throw it away later, you can go up here to this little nifty thing and see the most recent trophies you've earned, as well as if you've gotten new messages, what you've downloaded. You can see here I downloaded a video off of for Golden Abyss off of the Japanese store, so you can see that here. So this is a little bit better than the XMB, I think.
So yeah, you can jump right to it, and then you have your whole thing right there, all your notifications of what you've installed, what you've downloaded. My dates are all wrong because I've been trying to trick the system left and right. But notifications as far as what's going on, downloads that are still pending, a whole bunch of nifty little stuff, and then you can delete it whenever you want to. But bam. And then look, this is when you have multiple windows open if you want to jump around. It doesn't replace the bubbles. There was some concern that this might replace the bubbles. It doesn't. It's just a quicker way to jump around, but you can jump back to home. Then all your stuff's there. And then, the stuff you've been hearing about since they talked about PlayStation Vita. Nier is here. Nier isn't up and running, sadly, because, it thinks I'm trying to tell it I'm in Japan. It knows I'm not in Japan. The firmwares don't connect. Photo, pretty self-explanatory. Even though it's interesting, you can take if you're playing a game, right? If you're playing Welcome Park Con and you want to take a screenshot, you can just hit the PlayStation button and start at any time. Well, hold on, I gotta do it like this. And then you'll take a photo that'll then go to photo, and you can go view all your stuff down there. That way, for us, we'll be able to take a lot of screenshots and we start playing games here in the next few days.
It'll be great. And otherwise, the functionality is loose right now. We don't have much to work with. If you kind of scroll up and down on, like on the bubble screen here, you can see we have a Little Big Planet demo, for instance, and the content manager's there, settings, which we've been playing around a lot with because of the proxy settings that we have to set. So we'll have, I guess, more details in the coming days, right?
Totally, yeah. We're just getting ourselves acclimated to the system, just getting into some of the games. We're going to be posting stuff nonstop. Colin, I know you want to write stuff. You're taking your Vita home to your family to see what they have to think over Christmas break. So there's going to be plenty of stuff here on IGN.com. So stay here, keep listening to Podcast Beyond, and just love IGN up.
Beyond.
Beyond.